Happy December of 2023 to my ballistic blood brothers and sisters in arms. It's great to see you again. For those of you who don't know, I do testing and evaluation, research and developmental work, typically for newer firearms projects. I work for companies mostly under non-disclosure agreements, so it's not things that I can really share with anybody, but I get to work on a lot of really cool new projects, maybe help test things to get ready for market, massage them a little bit, create things that make something a better product. Some of the things that I've tested you've probably never heard of. Other things you might even own one. But again, those are things that I can't really go into detail about. So it should be clear that I like new technology and new things. I also have a very deep respect for the past, for items that were created before I was around. And I like to study older things. I like to look at older technology to see how things were built and why they were built that way. And that works perfect with one of the other hats that I wear. I research and catalog items for a very large auction company. So I get a chance to see fascinating pieces of history, awesome, amazing things that typically you'd only get to see if you were the curator in a museum. And I get to hold and fondle and research and photograph and talk about those things. And something that came across my desk that I thought was pretty cool were a few bricks of Remington Rocket ammunition from the 1950s. Now this isn't ammunition that we see very often anymore, and when we do, it's typically not in unopened bricks set up as dealer displays that have never been used before. Anyway, there were 5 of those that came through the auction house, and they had one extra package. They came in little chiclet packs. It's 22 short ammunition, and he asked if I would like to just test one, shoot it and see how it functions, and that's what we're doing today. So this stuff came out in the early to mid 1950s. It's 22 short ammunition, and there were a couple things about it that fascinated me. One, again, 22 short, it had a muzzle velocity of 1,600 feet per second or so. That was their reported muzzle velocity, 1,600 feet per second. We're starting to push up towards 22 Magnum levels, and it's 22 short from the 1950s. The other thing I thought was cool about it is the projectile composition. It's made of sintered iron, so it was an early attempt at frangible ammunition, but with a steel projectile. My understanding is it was typically made for gallery guns, where you would want that frangible projectile to just break apart into dust and not over penetrate or hurt anything, and have a shorter range of safety. Something that you could use in a little bit more enclosed area, because it's, again, not going to over penetrate and just keep on traveling. But the fact that it was iron, sintered iron, steel projectiles, people that used it tell me that it was awful rough on the bore, which absolutely makes sense. So a few weeks ago I asked you, what do we do with it? How do you want to test it? And you had some fantastic suggestions, but unfortunately the arbiter has been Mother Nature. It's cold again. I live in the Northeast, the extreme Northeast, in the state of Maine, and it's already freezing here. So anything we would typically do with like ballistic gel, I might as well be using plexiglass. Everything's just going to break. But I did want to get some live fire stuff done with this and learn a little bit about it, again, with the tiny chiclet pack that we had to test. First, I wanted to check the muzzle velocity. 1,600 feet, 1,700 feet per second. Those are massive numbers for 22 short. And I wanted to see if they were close to what were reported. I fired them in a 10-22, because that's what I had with me, and put 5 rounds over the chronograph. Check this out and tell me if it's about where you assumed it would be, if it's faster or slower. 15-2. Ooh. Are you still recording? Yep. Okay.
The whole time at this point.
Perfect.
Just gonna let it keep going now.
Yep.
Seems to be working better.
Yeah. 1540.
2, 3. Eject. One more round. 1501. Beautiful.
I thought that was pretty amazing. Again, for 22 short ammunition. That stuff has a snap to it too. You can definitely hear it. Now, a story that I've heard a lot, and I've read this online as well, accounts of old timers that used to use this stuff back when it was available, is they would talk about when they were hunting small game or even plinking down on the railroad tracks, is that when they would hit one of the railroad tracks at an angle, they would spark, and the sparks would just travel down the tracks, and it was kind of fun for them to watch. So I thought that's something I can easily try. So let's grab a sheet of steel and find out if there really is a spark, or if someone is just having fond memories, if the memory is more exciting than what actually happened. And the older I get, the more I know that kind of stuff happens.
1, 2, 3, go.
Yes, sir.
That was awesome. And 1, 2, 3, go.
I don't think there's any denying that. No question. There's a spark that takes place. So that's going to be all I have a chance to get done right away. I've still got a few more rounds of this stuff, and we'll put your suggestions to good use when it warms up a little bit. Right now I've got to get ready for an auction that's coming up over this weekend. That's why I'm kind of rushing to try to get this done, because I'm going to be tied up again for a few more days. But I wanted to get a little bit of time on these Remington Rockets. I wanted to say thank you for the suggestions, tell you how nice it is to see you again, that my health is still slowly returning, and hopefully we'll be doing this sort of thing again regularly. I hope that you have a fantastic holiday season. Enjoy your Christmas, spend some time with your family, and stay in touch. Hopefully it will be sooner than later. Till next time, have fun and be safe.